What is up, everyone, and welcome back to Across the Board, sponsored by MoneyBall Metrics. You have your normal two hosts, myself, Alpha Dog Bets, and JD from Line Movers, and you already know the guy we have at the bottom, Jammer Bets, our resident bunch of days a week guy. Welcome back. We're happy to have you on today. We have a bunch of games to go over today. We have a little NBA action. We got a little college football action. We got a little NFL action. JD. Massive show from the boys yesterday. We dominated the NBA slate. Best bets went 7-1. We all profited, and we all love to hear that. JD, over to you. I know you swept your best bets. How are you today?
Yeah, man, I'm doing great. The best bets went a little. I believe I was 3-0 there. But yeah, the big news really is that we had a great show. And actually, even our leans on the random games, they actually all hit. So everything was just going well for us. So
we love those days. There's no better days than when all the boys absolutely cash. All the viewers are cashing with us, and we love to be able to do that for you guys. Before I go over to Jammer, we do have Bill Norman, who's here every show. Bill, we appreciate you tuning in every single day. He's at our YouTube, guys. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube, then you're making a big mistake. Tons of exclusive content coming directly to the MoneyBall Metrics YouTube, so make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube. JD, also known as KD, he killed it on the Jacksonville State team total. You hit that very quickly, and you were all over that play as well. So a big day from the boys. Jammer, pleasure to have you back, brother. We always love chopping it up and having you give the people winners. How are you today?
Man, I'm doing well. Saw the show yesterday. You guys absolutely killed it. Tailed some of those. So I'm feeling good today. I'm excited to hop on the wave with you guys.
Absolutely. Did you tail me or JD?
Both.
We love to hear it. We love to hear it. You don't have to lie to the people. You can say you just tailed JD. It's okay. But a huge day for the boys, and I'm excited to dive into today's slate. Like I said, we're going to be breaking down 5 games, and we're going to start with one NBA game. You fellas ready to get into it?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, guys. First game we're breaking down of the day is going to be the Thunder versus the Nuggets. The game is going to be in Denver. Big matchup here. This could potentially be a preview of the Western Conference Finals. OKC coming in as a retooled roster. They added guys like Isaiah Hartenstein to secure their interior big man play. On the other side, we do have the Denver Nuggets. We know what they are all about. They are through Jokic, and Jokic. Jammer, we're going to start with you, our residential basketball expert. What do you like in this game?
Yes, I mentioned it on Tuesday. This Thunder team is going to be the number 1 team in the West. We saw both these two teams finish with identical 57-25 records last year, but with the Thunder holding the upper hand by winning the season series 3-1. The only game that they lost to the Nuggets last year, I think SGA finished with 8 points or something. He had one of his worst shooting nights of the year, but like I said on Tuesday, this is going to be the top seed in the West, and I think that tonight they're going to be highly motivated to go out there, solidify their position as the best team, and take the advantage in that season series so they don't have to worry about, coming down to the end of the season, tying them with the same record again. But despite their youth, this Thunder squad is built for a deep playoff run. You mentioned it. They added Isaiah Hartenstein. They added Alex Caruso. And other than that, they're pretty much the same exact team. Whereas on the other side, Denver Nuggets, we saw what they could do with their championship run in 2023. It relied heavily on Nikola Jokic. And to me, the addition of Russell Westbrook just really doesn't move the needle at all for me. So we saw drops in Jokic's shooting percentages last year, both from 2 and 3. For this team, I think I'm just going to have to see more out of the other guys, MPJ, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray. I need to see more out of them, less on Nikola Jokic. But I think the play is easy tonight. Thunder money line. They're going to come out. They're going to show them what they're made of. They're going to absolutely dominate this conference this year. And I think it all starts right now tonight against Denver.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way you do. I'm all over the Thunder tonight. Little news on the injury front. They will be out without Hartenstein. They will be out without Kenrick Williams and Jalen Williams. So they do have a couple injuries, but I don't think it matters. This team is very deep. They have a lot of shooters, and I think they will be able to put the ball in the basket tonight. I do think Denver will take a little bit to get going. Outside of Jokic, they have a lot of shooters, and I do think it is going to take a little bit of time for some of their guys to get hot as the year starts to progress. So give me the Thunder. I'll let it out early. It is one of my best bets today. JD, what do you like in our only basketball game we're breaking down today?
Yeah, just start off with this could this should be a great game. Really
going to be.
Oh yeah.
The Thunder side, just like y'all, I would have to lean there. Playing in Denver, though, for your first game,
Mhm.
that is pretty tough, though. So because of that, I have to lay off the side here. As far as a total, I have to lay off that too. But there's a prop. I like Chet. Tonight, I actually think he actually should actually score points. Like actually you just said, I believe that actually Hartenstein's out, and I believe
Yes.
that Jalen Williams is actually also out. So like they need size. And so with that saying is actually as far as his minutes goes tonight, he actually should be getting plenty. So I actually really don't think that there's going to be a problem there. I got the line at over 15 and a half. And I just think that's low. Last year, he actually played against Denver 4 times, and he went over that number every time. He had 19, 17, 24, and then 18 points. So at BetMGM, you can actually still get that number. 16 and a half looks to be at most books, and actually that's fine too. So.
I like that a lot. I like that he cashed that every game last year. So another prop pull from JD. We absolutely love that. Over to the comments. We have a couple of comments about this game. Joe is here. We appreciate you tuning in, Joe. Alex Caruso is a critical piece. OKC added. No more SGA hero ball. I could not agree more. I think it's going to be a huge pickup in the long run for this team. Over to Joe as well. Westbrook assist 5 for plus 122. How do you feel? I think that's a decent play. If there's any angle I would take on Westbrook, it would be him being able to find Jokic down low for a quick 2. So the only thing I would recommend on Westbrook would be an assist play. It's not my favorite prop. I'm not huge on Westbrook, but I do think there is a good shot that he will get at least 5 assists tonight. How do you feel about that, fellas?
I mean, Joe's saying it down there in the chat. Averaged 19 minutes in the preseason, over 6 already in the limited minutes. It's just about who he's going to be playing with out there on the court. If he can get some some players who can catch and shoot.
Absolutely, I agree. What do you think, JD?
Yeah, I feel like at 5, there's probably about right. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we all kind of like it, but I don't think we all love it. I think we're all in the same boat on that one. Yeah. Still over to the comments. Nick Castrucci is here. We appreciate you, Nick. Well, they probably appreciate you. I do not with your comments on New York that's going to lose on Monday night in multiple sports. I think you're wrong. More to come on that. Let's at least wait till next week to start talking shit to me about that. All right, we got a couple more days till you can start talking shit to me. And Footy Chancellor is here, our resident soccer expert for MoneyBall Metrics. If you guys do not follow Footy, make sure you check him out. He's been dropping winners daily in the MoneyBall Metrics Discord. Unfortunately, we know he's a Bayern Munich fan, and don't know if anyone saw that game. Not the best result for Footy and his Bayern, so we apologize for that. But we appreciate you stopping in and hanging out with us. Let's keep it moving, fellas, to the second game we're breaking down. We're moving on to the college football part of this show. Person in the back doing a fantastic job with the graphics. We appreciate you. That way, we can keep this show looking professional and keep it moving. So let's get it, guys. Syracuse is taking on Pittsburgh in this game. Syracuse is coming in 5-1. On the other side, Pittsburgh 6-0, 2-0 in conference, and they are ranked 19th in the nation coming into this game. Jammer, there's a Pittsburgh sporting event today. You know we had to cover it as you're our resident Pittsburgh guy. What do you like in this matchup?
Nothing more I'd love to do than talk about some Pitt football here. Interesting game. Pitt opened up as a 3-point favorite last week, and the line has just shifted significantly. I think it's sitting at 5.5 points now on DraftKings and FanDuel. Over-under also jumped up about 3 points. So people seem to be high on Pitt, and they seem to be high on the over, which I think that the stats do back up here. Syracuse comes off a 3-game win streak after a 24-17 win over NC State, improving their record to 5-1, like you mentioned. Their offense is well balanced. Kyle McCord, Lakeith Allen, Trevor Pena, Jackson Meeks. A lot of yards on that offense, rushing and receiving. Defense has also been solid with 13 sacks and 6 interceptions. But you got Eli Holstein playing at home on a 6-0 team. First time they've been 6-0 since the 80s. Eli Holstein did not look good last week, or I guess the week prior. They were on a bye week last week. But, I mean, coming off the bye, he had a couple banger games before that with 300, nearly 400 yards passing. I think that the line might be a little too much for the Pitt Panthers tonight. I think that with the movement going, as far as it did, I'm more tempted to take Syracuse. I would have loved to grab Pitt there at that -3, but it's tough to say. I think I'm going to have to go Syracuse +6 tonight if you can grab that, +5.5 if that's all you're getting offered. But I think we'll see a close game. Might also lean towards the over in this, but I think the best play here is Syracuse keeps it close, +5.5.
Unfortunately, I know you're a Pittsburgh guy, but I do feel the exact same way you do. I think I do think Pittsburgh does get it done in this game, but I don't think they cover the 6 points. I just think it's too much. Me and Jay are on the exact same wavelength here. I'm all over the over in this matchup. It's not an official best bet for me, but I do lean the over in this one at 61.5. Both these teams have really limited defenses and they have explosive offenses. We've seen McCord, the quarterback from Syracuse, he's the transfer from Ohio State, really do a decent job with a little bit lesser competition this year than he's used to. He looks a lot better than he did with Ohio State. And on the other side, Eli Holstein's been great this year. I know he had a little bit of a lackluster performance 2 weeks ago, but when you take a look at his season-long stats, he does have 1,700 passing yards, 15 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. And to break down Kyle McCord to Syracuse, he has 2,200 passing yards with 19 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. So both offenses have had a ton of success this year throwing the ball and getting into the end zone. I definitely lean the over with Jay. That's my official play in this game. JD, what do you got?
Yeah, man, you just said that great. So I'm not going to have a lot to actually add here. Just let's keep this really short and sweet. Both of these teams should actually be able to pass the ball well here. Both teams like to play fast. So that just has over just like written there. Like, I mean, if you're going to pass the ball, like actually like a lot of the time here, and you're going to play fast, both teams are going to give up points. The Syracuse side would be how I would have to lean here. But for me, the edge is on the over. I think this should be more in the 64-point range. So yeah, give me the over the 61.5.
I feel the exact same way you do. We are all lock and key on this one. We all feel like it's a Syracuse side and an overplay on the total. So normally I'd say I'd be a little nervous, but yesterday this happened. We were all on the Bucks, and that was the easiest win of the night. So I'm not going to do that today. We're staying positive. We all are seeing it the same way. Let's cash. Before we go to the next game, Footy Chancellor is in here. He's talking a little smackety smack to Jammer, asking how many ranked teams Pitt has played. Jammer, I got your back. How many ranked teams has Syracuse played, Footy? They haven't really done anything either. So if you're going to take that approach, Syracuse did lose to a pretty lousy Stanford team at home. I do think Pitt is the better team here. So if you're going to go at Jammer, you know I got your back. Let's keep it moving, fellas. Next game that we have on the slate is going to be the BYU-UCF game. BYU Cougars are coming into this game 7-0. They are ranked 11th in the nation, an unbelievable start for this team. They're going to UCF and taking on the Knights, who are 3-4. They are 1-3 in conference. JD, we haven't started with you yet. What do you like in this BYU-UCF showdown?
Man, yeah, you have this actually BYU team. They're 7-0 now, and then you have actually UCF. They've lost their last 4 games.
Yep.
And then you have UCF favored. This just seems like a weird line, right?
Yep.
To me, no, it absolutely does not seem like weird. To most people, I can definitely see that. But if you look at actually model numbers here, most models that people are going to use by most stats, you're going to have UCF favored by anywhere between 3 and 5 points here. This is a BYU team that I've not been high on. That has not worked out well for me a couple times. But I just still don't think that this team is just as good as the market thinks they actually are. And UCF, they're going to be able to run the ball, and they're going to be able to run all over them the whole entire game. And BYU has also had a lot of luck, a lot of good luck. That has to kind of run out at some point here. For me, I have not placed this bet yet, but UCF is, as far as their money line, I'm actually going to be on them. Just trying to I actually still need to look at it a little bit more. But this could be a really big play though. I'm absolutely loving them. As far as their team total over, I might actually look at that also. But the UCF money line, I am definitely going to be on it.
I'm a little impartial here because the UCF football program is the only football program that let me watch an entire college football game on their sideline. So I am a little impartial to them because they were so good to me. But realistically, you said it perfectly, JD. This line stinks. It does. They're 7-0, 11th in the country. I know that all the models do have UCF winning this game, but when you look at their most recent performances, they lost 38-35 to Iowa State. Not a terrible loss, but they did have a lead there, a pretty big lead. Cincinnati 19-13, kind of a terrible loss. Colorado 48-21, definitely a terrible loss. And Florida 24-13, not a great loss. On the other side, BYU, they're beating everyone. Oklahoma State 38-35, Arizona 41-19. Their offense is scoring a lot of points. Their biggest win of the year, to me at least, was that Kansas State win, which they won 38-9 and had a big performance. This line stinks, and because of that, I'm taking UCF. This one is a UCF screamer. There's nothing that makes sense in this game. BYU should absolutely be favored. They've absolutely been the better team. They've played pretty similar competition, and they've done pretty well against them. But the line tells the entire story here, guys. There's something going on in this game. Give me UCF. They should not be favored in this game because they are. I am taking them. Sometimes if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, acts like a duck, it's a duck. So BYU, I think, is the duck this week. I think they are baiting people into taking that line with where it is. Give me UCF. I'm all over them this weekend. Jammer, do you agree? Do you disagree? Am I an idiot? Am I smart? What do you think?
So, I mean, I'm sort of on board with both of you guys here. More in line with what JD was saying. I'm thinking points here. I had to look this up. I had it written down, but I didn't actually look into it. They both had a 38-35 game last week. UCF lost. Obviously, BYU won. But I think we're going to see some points, man. BYU averaging 35 points per game. That's top 25 in the FBS. UCF is averaging, 30? So that's just outside the top 25. They can do it both on the ground. The only thing that's kind of keeping me back on UCF is this quarterback play. Do they have a starting quarterback? Who's it going to be?
Ja'Cory Brown will be starting in this game. I do not believe they will be going back to KJ Jefferson anytime soon.
No.
Okay. But, I mean, like you guys said, this line is just kind of like screaming, like, I'm 7-0. You got to bet on me plus 1.5. But I can't take a side here. I'd love to join you guys on the UCF side, but I think that the play is the over or more towards the UCF team total over. But I'll just take the over 55.5.
I like it. I definitely lean the over as well. Over to the comments. Nick, we've had your comment on the screen. I don't like telling our viewers to shut up, but shut up. We all know I have to clock tomorrow. Be here. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. It's going to be for you, Nick. I got you. This is absolutely for you. All right, fellas, let's get to wrap up the BYU UCF game, but we still do have one more college football game we are going to be breaking down before we get into the NFL action. This one, to me, is the best game that we have on the weekend slate, which is going to be the LSU Tigers coming in 8th in the country, taking on the Texas A&M Aggies, who are 14th in the country. A lot of storylines in this game. Two teams that are very good. You guys know that I like to call out when ESPN has it very close, the BPI. ESPN matchup predictor BPI for this game has this one at 48% LSU, 52% Texas A&M. So this is a true toss-up here. Jammer, over to you. What do you got?
Oh, man, I was big on the LSU last week.
Me too.
They're 6-1 now, right back in that playoff race. That was a huge win versus Arkansas. It's going to be tough to go on the road, even though they have been successful so far, holding a 2-0 away record. I think that the big question mark here is going to be that Texas A&M quarterback, Connor Weigman. He's going to have to control the turnovers, something that LSU has had plenty this season. So, I mean, it's all going to come down to this LSU defense. I fully believe in them on the offensive side, and we've already seen the road success this year. So, for me, I think it's another LSU play. I like them on this small spread, maybe even take them on the money line. But for me, I think it's just going to be the safe play and take them plus 2.5.
I definitely respect that. When you take a look in depth at how the quarterback has done for A&M, Weigman, however you pronounce it, he's 56-91, not bad. 750 yards, not bad. 3 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Bad. Very, very bad. I'm leaning
Turnover,
LSU in this game as well. It's not an official play for me, but I do think LSU will get this done. I do think, like you said, we will see turnovers. I think you put it perfectly. So I am going to take a little insurance. I am going to take the +2.5. You can buy it up to +3 if you want, but I do think LSU wins this one outright. They have the better quarterback. I do believe they're the better roster in total. I know they're on the road, but I do expect a big performance out of them. Give me the Tigers +2.5. One of my favorite plays. JD, what do you got?
Yeah, just like you said, this is a really big game.
Mhm.
This is a really big game. This should be a really good game. As somebody who actually bet the actual I actually bet the LSU overs actually last year. Like I swear, like it was almost every game. So this feels really weird to say what I'm about to say, but their defense is playing really well.
Yep.
And they're just getting better actually like every game. And then as far as actually on the A&M side, the offense, just actually like you said, they're having trouble, and they can't seem to finish drives, which I think that's going to be a big key here. And I just see them as just a lot of actually like field goals here. And then as far as on the LSU side, their actual offensive line, they have been playing extremely well. They've been holding up well. They have only allowed 2 sacks. Which is kind of nuts. And so they should be able to actually hold up here, which is going to let LSU throw the ball more, which is how they're going to be able to actually score points here. Running the ball, they're probably not going to be able to do a whole lot there. As far as the model, this has it at basically a 50-50 game. I think just the way the two teams are playing currently, I actually think that actually like LSU is the slightly better team here. Them on the money line is definitely going to be a play. The way the numbers are right now, it looks like you might be able to actually get a 3 at actually some point here.
Yep.
Because it looks like those 2.5s are actually all really juiced. If I can end up getting a 3, this is going to be a big play.
Yeah, you could. I mean, would you consider buying it up? Because right now I'm seeing it at +100 at 2.5, so you can get the +3 at basically a -1 in between 115 and 120.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a good move to buy it up to 3 as well. So I'm going to do what you're doing here. I had it at 2.5. I do think they win, but with it being +100 and you get that extra insurance, that way if this game ends on a field goal in either direction, you know that you don't lose. I think that's the smartest play as well. I'm modifying my bet. I'm going with JD. I'm doing the +3 at the -115, -120, whichever your book has.
Yep. Awesome.
All right, fellas. You know what time it is. It is time for Thursday Night Football, the game everybody is looking forward to the most. We're going to get into our best bets. We're going to go over the sides, the totals, maybe a couple props. Who knows where we're going to go. Any questions you guys have, please drop them in the comments. You know we love answering as many questions, whatever you guys have. We're here for you. All we want to do is help you guys win and keep beating the books together. So let's get after it. Tonight's game, Vikings versus the Rams. A lot of storylines in this game. Vikings are coming in 5-1. They're 2-0 on the road. Rams are coming in 2-4, and they are 2-1 at home. But the Rams are getting star receiver Cooper Kupp back tonight. There's going to be a little bit of a different offense for them because we know what Cooper Kupp and this offense could do with the receiving weapons back and healthy. JD, over to you. What do you like in the Vikings-Rams tonight?
I see. It seems like everybody this is a Vikings play. Like everybody can't believe this line is actually so low. But you have to look at it as for them, this is a really tough spot. This is very short rest, and then actually having to actually go out there to the actual West Coast. If the Vikings would have won last week's game, I would be on the Rams here. I actually would absolutely be on them. There would be no doubt. Because they lost, though, I think they're obviously gonna show up here, and as far as the numbers and just everything, the Rams still are the side. As far as the 3.5 that actually you could have gotten over the past few days, I actually missed that. So I'm just going to stay away from that. But then I looked at this game actually like a little bit different way. The Vikings, they've been getting off to really hot starts. They've been scoring points quick and fast.
Yep.
So I'm just going to bank on that, and I'm not going to worry about as far as the defense or anything like actually that. You can get the Vikings, you can get their first half, you can get their team total over at only an actual 12.5 here. So I absolutely love that, and I'm just going to ride it.
I agree with you in the exact same wavelength. I'm taking a little different approach on the game. I'm playing a juicy money line here. I think you guys know where I'm going, but I'm all over the Vikings on the money line. JD, you stole every single thing I wanted to say. That if the Vikings would have won last week, I would have been on the Rams. I could not agree more. But because they lost, they don't want to go on a 2-game losing streak. They're going to be ready and geared up to play in this game. I'm not comfortable taking the spread in this game at 2.5. I know it's a low spread, but this game could come down to a last-second field goal. We've seen this Vikings team win plenty of games this year by a point or two. They're very good at doing that. So I'm taking the money line. I feel a little bit more comfortable doing that. Bill Norman has a question. So before we go to Jammer, I'm going to go back to JD, but I'll give my pick first. I'm all over Aaron Jones to find the end zone tonight. Last week in his return back from injury, he was an absolute monster. He scored a 35-yard rushing touchdown on the first drive of the day. I think we'll see something similar where he does find the end zone tonight. Since Aaron Donald has left this Rams team, they've done a really, really bad job at stopping the run. This, to me, is going to be a big running attack from the Vikings tonight, and Aaron Jones is going to be the beneficiary. Give me Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. It's my favorite one. And I'm going to do something that the three of us on screen will laugh at, and I do apologize to our producer in the back. I am adding a best bet. I'm going to let it know early. I know I didn't have it submitted early. I apologize, but I am taking Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. The viewers want to know what anytime touchdown prop we have. Aaron Jones, I do love to score a touchdown. I did give that out earlier today to my client. So Aaron Jones, anytime touchdown, and the Vikings are my two plays on this game. Jammer, what do you got?
I think you guys absolutely.
Whoa. I am so sorry. I did not get JD's anytime touchdown. I'm cutting you off. I said I was going to do that. JD, do you have anytime touchdown for us before we go to Jammer?
Man, I'm looking over the odds screen here. And really, man, I have to roll with actually you on this. You can get Aaron Jones at actually a minus 115.
Yep.
And that's actually a really good price. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And Joe, I do see your comments in there. I do believe we answered your question, so I'm not going to put them up. Jammer, over to you. What do you got in this game? And we need an anytime touchdown prop.
Yeah, so I was looking up the anytime touchdowns. I couldn't believe they have Kyron Williams at minus 182. I know before last week, I think the Vikings only gave up 1 or maybe 0 rushing touchdowns on the season. I don't know what they ended up giving up last week, but minus 182 is crazy for that defense. For me, I think I'm going to look for some value on the anytime touchdowns. I'm going to be looking at Cooper Kupp. First game back. He's only played 2 games this season, and he's second on the team in targets still. Like, he had 27 targets through 2 weeks. I mean, he's obviously Matthew Stafford's favorite guy out there on the field. Obviously, it's going to be, a little ramp up here with his first game back, but it seemed like he was ready to play last week, and they just kind of wanted to keep him on the back burner, with all the trade stuff going on and, just making sure that he's going to come back 100%. So, I'm going to bank on him being at least over 90%. And just the targets just going his way at plus 140 on an anytime touchdown. I think they're just too high to ignore. And I honestly just don't believe in Kyron Williams scoring. I think that defense will shut him down. And it's
that's scary.
Matthew Stafford to throw. I mean, you just got to look at the numbers. They're not giving up the rushing touchdowns. And I know that's where Kyron Williams generally gets them from. But minus 182 is just way too high for this defense.
He's got 8 of them, though. That's why it's scary. It's because this is like the battle of strengths here because the Vikings are great at stopping the run. You're absolutely right about that. But on the other side, the Rams, the only way they've been able to find the end zone, especially with Cooper Kupp out, but he is back, has been Kyron Williams. So I could definitely see that minus 180 is an awful price, but I definitely think he still might be somebody who could find his way in tonight.
Yeah. But for me, it's just tough to back the Rams here. I think the line is a little it's tasty to take them for the Vikings, but for me, I think it's just going to be a Vikings team total. I'm seeing them at 24.5. For me, I can see them scoring 30 plus here. This Rams defense, they're going from what do they have? Who they played last week? Was it the Raiders? They had Trey Tucker and DJ Turner. Now they're going to have Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. It's just too many weapons on this offense. A lot of people didn't see this coming from the Vikings. Our friend Ben, he clearly saw this. He knew they were going to be 5-1, almost 6-0 on the season. The Rams struggled last week, man. Only 2 of 10 on third down, only 260 yards on offense, going up against this top Vikings defense. I think we're going to see either it's going to be a rout or it's just going to be an absolute shootout. I like the Vikings team total over 24.5. They're either going to blow them out or it's going to be a shootout with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp putting up some points for that offense that really hasn't seen a lot lately. But I think I'm leaning the Vikings, but I'm going to take the safer side and take their team total over 24.5.
I love it. We're all wine today, fellas. I said this yesterday. I was a little nervous, but it paid off. Can we do it again? I think we're good enough to do it again. We'll have to see what happens. Before we get into a few more things such as best bets, I do want to shout out K.O. Locks. He's here saying, what's up, fellas? Y'all all know Spencer came on the show yesterday and absolutely delivered. I believe he swept his best bets as well. So we're going to have to get him back on here because he gave out the winners, and we appreciate you. Before we do get into our best bets, I do want to quickly go over the Buy More, Save More All Access Fall Frenzy Special, currently run by MoneyBall Metrics. You guys see what we do on the show. If you haven't seen what we do in the Discord, it's even better. So make sure you guys do tap into the Discord. Send a message over to the MoneyBall Metrics account if you're interested in signing up with the promotion. The only way to get these prices is to DM the MoneyBall Metrics account, and they will get you guys all set up. So hit us up, get in the Discord, and let's keep winning together. Fellas, with that being said, you all know what time it is. It is time to get into our best bets for the day. Let's get it, guys. We'll start with Jammer, our special, not so special, regular guest, regular host, whatever you want to be now. What do you got today? What do you like?
Well, going to the NBA. It's my favorite sport to cap. It's what I'm known for. We're backing the Thunder tonight. Thunder money line, best bet for me in the NBA. Might have some props. The other games of the NBA, not too good, but this one should carry the other ones. And we'll bounce over to the NFL. We just talked about it. Vikings team total over 24.5. Wish it was 23, but I think at those odd numbers, they almost try and tempt you to take the under because you're just assuming they're going to finish right there at that 24. I could see them scoring 30 tonight. Like I said, it's either going to be a rout or it's going to be a close shootout game, 30-27 type. So I do like the Vikings tonight. Good luck, Ben.
I love it. I love it. Quickly, I'll jump into mine, guys. I have 3 best bets because I added the Aaron Jones, so I am taking Aaron Jones anytime touchdown. You currently get that at minus 115, minus 120, depending on the book. Vikings money line minus 135 to minus 140, depending on the book as well. And my third and final best bet, I'm on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm like Jammer. The NBA is one of my favorite, if not favorite sports. We're hot in it. We're pushing it right now. So let's get that Thunder as well. Those are my big 3. JD, there's just over 775 people here waiting on your best bets. What do you got for the people?
Let's go with 2 plays for tonight. Let's go to that college game. Let's take the Syracuse and Pitt. Let's take that over. You can get a 61.5 at minus 115 currently. Then let's go to the Thursday night football game. The Vikings, I definitely like them to score points, and I specifically like them to start off hot. Give me the Vikings first half team total over 12.5 at minus 125.
I love it. And guys, bonus best bet. Footy Chancellor is telling us about some BS soccer play, some hot dog Frankfurt minus 2.5, whatever the hell it is. Footy kills it in soccer, so make sure you guys check him out. KO Locks also saying he has another player prop that has dropped in the Moneyball Metrics Discord. Make sure you guys get in there. But fellas, another fantastic show. We broke down the NBA game. We broke down the college football game. We broke down the NFL game. The comments were awesome. You guys were awesome. I appreciate every single one of you. We will be back tomorrow for the NFL show. Cannot wait for that. And yet again, guys, here is the graphic for the best bets. Before we get out of here, you can see what we are all on. Shout out to the producer in the back who added my Aaron Jones anytime touchdown late to the graph.
Huge.
I know that probably annoyed you. I appreciate you, and we will see everyone tomorrow. JD, say goodbye to the people.
Guys, let's fucking win. Cheers,
Let's
guys.
fucking win. I can't say Jammer keep smiling because we're looking at the best bet sheet, so I'm going to have to come up with something new. We'll be back tomorrow. We appreciate you guys. Peace.